Hey everyone, welcome back to 996 The Howl. Just a quick update, quick video here. We got the Tucson Roadrunners unfortunately eliminated in the American Hockey League playoffs. They made it, they pushed it to the elimination game number 3 in the American Hockey League. The first round is best out of 3. First team to win 2 games moves on, and the top seed in the bracket gets all the games. So all the games were at Abbotsford against the Abbotsford Canucks. Great game number 2 for the Roadrunners, but they kind of just lost it in game number 3. I mean, the game started out pretty good. Abbotsford had no shots in the first 7 minutes, and then they got 12 shots in the next 5 minutes. They managed to get 20 shots in that first period of game 3, and then they just ran away with it in game number 3, ended up winning and eliminating the Roadrunners. The first game, Vialta was in net. He had a pretty rough go of it with only an .826 save percentage. Then they switched to Stauber for game number 2 and game number 3. And game number 2, Stauber kind of won that game for the Roadrunners. The Abbotsford Canucks came out strong, and Stauber was making unbelievable saves, holding down the fort, giving the Roadrunners a chance to come back in the game and win that game 4-1. And Tucson managed to pretty much go toe-to-toe in the shot total, but still 39 shots on goal in game number 2 for Abbotsford. What did I like about these games? Yes, I watched these games almost at times instead of the NHL playoffs. But for me, when game number 1 started, I had a thought in my head, like maybe the Roadrunners could eke this out, even though they were the last seed to make the playoffs. They play a sort of playoff style game, but to be honest, they kind of like don't play. They toe that line of like discipline and physicality. They're very tenacious. They're very competitive. They're a grinding style team. They're not a speed skills team like the Abbotsford Canucks were, where the Canucks, all their momentum and pressure was off the rush, whereas the Roadrunners would just grind you down, hit you hard, and just be so physical and in your face. But they crossed the line so many times. The Roadrunners had 16 penalties. 5 plus 5 is 10. 6 is 16. They were scored on 4 of those 16 penalties, so about a 75% penalty kill average. They were 0 for 11 on the power play, and they were actually -1 on the power play since they led in a shorthanded goal on one of those power plays. They committed 2 major penalties in these 3 games, which means they had a 5-minute penalty kill to kill off. 2 5-minute majors, and they weren't fighting majors. They were just bad penalties. One of them was by the captain, Poganski, a hit from behind. And then in game number 3, a really bad interference penalty by Agazino, totally undisciplined. After seeing these 3 games, I wonder if Bill Armstrong and John Ferguson Jr., who is the GM for the Roadrunners, if they do decide to go with a coaching change. I saw very little offensive strategy for this team. It feels like their only strategy was point shots and get bodies to the net and hope for a tip-in. That's mainly how they scored their only goals in this series, but a lot of point shots by Zuber, Duda, Kanata, Russo. Individual players, Yamamoto had 5 penalties in this whole series, 5 minor penalties, a bit too much. He was undisciplined along with the whole team. Duda, I liked how Duda played. I felt like he had the highest IQ on the team. He could move his feet. He kind of rose around the offensive zone as a defenseman, which I like to see. He goes from up high to down low, controls the puck pretty well while he has possession of the puck. He skates well with it. Zuber was pretty good. They put Zuber on PP number 1 as a point man, and so that's interesting to me. I always thought of Zuber as a defensive defenseman. He's big, tall, towering sort of defenseman, but he's got some offensive upside. We saw him in the Roadrunners previous video where he was up there in terms of defenseman points. Lamoureux, a little bit underwhelming considering he has a lot of NHL experience compared to guys like Duda and Zuber. Very, unnoticeable, I would say. He's noticeable because he's tall and big and has a long reach, but didn't see his offensive game at all. A bit disappointing by Lamoureux. Other prospects, Lipkin didn't even play in these 3 games, so another head-scratching moment by the head coach, Steve Potvin. Matika, Nord, and Owen Allard. They were all available to play for the Roadrunners. They were sent down for the playoffs, but neither of them played. And Julian Lutz stuck on the fourth line, very, very unnoticeable. So a bit disappointed by Lamoureux. This team was pretty much built for American Hockey League veterans. They were led by Barron and Drew McCartney. Well, McCartney is a prospect for the Utah, even though he's played for the Roadrunners 4 seasons now. Curtis Douglas, who's like 6'9". These guys played really hard. They're kind of dirty as well. This was pretty much a goon squad by the Roadrunners. So I'm interested to see in this offseason if they decide to create an evolution for the Roadrunners. There's a lot of guys signed on ELCs, Lavoie, Goldsmith, already mentioned Nord and Allard. There might be some other prospects signed to entry-level contracts in the summer. They could create this evolution in the Roadrunners where they become more skilled, have some offensive tempo to their game, and I feel like a coaching change could be in order as well. Last offseason, they were obviously busy recreating the Utah defense, moving to Utah as well. So I pretty much, they put the Roadrunners on the back burner, but we'll see if Bill Armstrong wants to make some changes down there, because all these draft picks are going to start ending up playing with the Roadrunners, and you need to have a good development system. You can't have our young prospects be so undisciplined. And sure, you can play with that physicality that Bill Armstrong wants. I see that. Even in those prospect tournaments in September, you see that the team is more physical than the opposition, but you can't cross that line, and you can't be so flagrant with your hits that you just create unnecessary penalties and you lose games just based on taking so many penalties. They took 16 penalties, only drew 11, so a disparity and unbalanced there. So unfortunately, the Roadrunners, their season is over. Looking for some new blood to be injected into this team, more skill, more speed, and see a step forward and an increase, an improvement in young guys already on the team like Lipkin, Lutz, Lamoureux, Duda, Zuber, Nord, Matika, and Owen Allard. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for your support.